What's the deal with book covers? If you're new here, I'm making a video every single day this month. This is day 29. We're almost there. 2 days left. So the other day, I was in the city with Chester, and I went into the big Dymocks bookstore in the city CBD. It's like the biggest bookstore in the city. Probably. It's very large. It's 3 stories. They have so many books, right? It's this giant 3-story cathedral to literature. As we were packing up to leave, I remembered that I'd been looking for a copy of Agatha Christie's, and then there were none because I want to read it. I haven't read it. I really like her standalone stories. What better place to find a copy of this book? The biggest bookstore in the city, right? Chester said he'd also really wanted to read an Agatha Christie, and so I recommended this one to him, The Secret Adversary, because I read this a couple of years ago and really liked it. So we went to the crime section, we looked for C for Christie, and sure enough, she had 2 whole shelves dedicated to her books. On those shelves, I found 3 different cover designs of And Then There Were None, and they were all terrible. They were so bad. There was one that was okay, there was one that was really not great, and then there was one that was like actually horrible. Now, this is not a statement on the like modern simplification and block color designs of book covers. I actually think that can look really good, and I really like that. For example, these are the Thrawn Ascendancy Star Wars books. They have very simple, very 2020s covers, right? I think they look fantastic. This one particularly is like one of my favorite book covers of all time. I think they look amazing. We got the classic penguin. I mean, you can't get much simpler than that. Looks beautiful. And then this is the modern cover of Dune. It's very kind of almost low effort, like graphic design sort of look. I think it looks fantastic. Here's an older one. This is more of a vintage one. Very simple and just good. So I had to get that out of the way because I'm not against the simple covers at all. But these ones, what is happening with designs? These are 2 Agatha Christie's that I've read. Secret Adversary, Destination Unknown. I think both of these have unbelievably good covers. I think they're fantastic. They're obviously kind of 70s covers, but I think that's great. Hold on, my cat's trying to get in. And it's not just me that thinks this, because Chester found a couple of different designs of Secret Adversary as well, and he also disliked them. And so the net result of this was that 2 people with specific books in mind that we wanted to buy that were in stock in the biggest bookstore in the city, we walked out of there and we didn't buy a single book because the cover designs were terrible. Is this actually what modern people want for book covers? No wonder kids these days don't like reading. If you had the choice between something like this when you were growing up versus this, and it's not even a situation of like the new Stephen King covers, right? These are both very obviously modern, that simplified kind of block color style, especially Fairy Tale. I like these. I think they look good. I think they look fine. It's very stylistic. It's obviously a modern cover. So with this one, I think this is great. It's a modern take on a vintage style. So we can do simple covers well. So why don't we? And even the covers just felt cheap, and like someone as iconic and famous and well-known in the writing space as Agatha Christie, the queen of crime. The covers made them look like they were written in 2025 and were written by like an unknown author who doesn't really care what their books look like and has just outsourced them to whoever. It's Agatha Christie, you know what I mean? Like, I could understand if it was some unknown author that doesn't have the budget to pay for like a really good design. And the worst part is like, he's alive, so he probably has a say in what his book covers look like. Because Agatha Christie's no longer alive, what, her books just don't, no one cares anymore? Like, anyway, so the moral of the story is I'm just going to get a secondhand copy from a secondhand bookstore somewhere because it will look better. I'm not holding this in my hand for 10 hours while I read a mystery story by one of the greatest authors ever. I don't get it. Anyway, look, we're so close. We've nearly finished this daily video challenge. While I do this outro, I'm going to show you this time lapse that I shot a while ago because I was going to fit it into a video and then that video didn't happen, and I think it's kind of cool. I have had a wonderful time. We got 2 days left, boys. They're both going to be bigger videos to try and finish off strong. If you have thoughts about book covers, leave them in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Oh, I forgot to mention, if you're surrounded by terrible books and you don't know what to read Chester's book, I Am Monster. Now, I'm biased, but this is an example of a simple, very simple, minimalistic cover that I think looks fantastic. And the art is not AI generated. It's not some simplified computer-generated nonsense. This is a real painting done by a real living person who is Chester's wife, and I can attest to it. I have seen the physical painting on a piece of canvas before it was ever printed on a book, right? This is a good cover with real art done by a real artist. The book itself is great. I just started reading it again last night. I read a previous draft and I'm now reading the final version. Go order it. It is available on Amazon right now. I'll leave a link in the description. It's really good. Go support a real artist who is making good art. And if you buy a copy, you can help pay for him to feed his dogs. Because let me tell you, his dog eats a lot of food. Thank you so much for watching. And almost for the last time, I will see you tomorrow. Bye.